He
Yeah,
said
Yeah,
Mary
yeah.
he said
Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk about the
Mary
black
Poppins,
exploitation
Joe.
films.
Yeah,
What do you
dog.
want to talk about?
The impact.
Mm,
Because before that, we didn't have any real representation. Or
mm,
let me put it like this: we didn't have a voice.
mm,
Because that's one of the main criticisms about the black exploitation films was it wasn't representative of black culture, but
Touche.
at least
mm,
it was FUBU. It was for
mm-hmm.
us, it was by us, and it was impactful. Like there are movies to this day that are still based off of those movies.
Very
So
much so.
like
Mm-hmm.
Chamberlain was bringing up the budget for like George Lucas when he made Star Wars, and the first movie that was made was by Melvin Van Peebles with his fine ass. So fine, such a fine black man. But his budget for that movie was like $50 million or something like that. Like I was like, where he get all this money? No, I mean like fifty
Yeah,
thousand.
yeah. I'm about to say it wasn't
Fifty
50,000.
$50,000.
thousand
I was like 50
dollars.
million.
Yeah.
Like
They
but
got bread
still
in
though,
the
like
Japanese.
$50,000 is a lot of money to
It
like
was.
kick off the Blaxploitation movies, and the
Mm-hmm.
name of it is so funny. It's like sweetie,
Sweetbacks.
sweet back,
Badass song.
but badass has like
Like six,
seven
seven S's.
S's
Yeah.
on the
Oh
end of
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah,
I seen that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I seen
and
the
it's
name.
like, how gangster is it for you to be like, I'm gonna make a movie, and it's gonna be called Sweetbacks, badass song, and it did great, and it kicked it off. Everybody was like, "Dag, he did that with that. Okay, bet." And
And
then they just,
it's a great looking movie too. Like it's a beautifully shot movie. Probably like the best looking blaxploitation movie ever made.
mm-hmm,
Besides Chef, probably.
yeah.
I was
Yeah, I
about
was
to
So
gonna
say
say
Shaft
now.
came out
agree.
right
Now
Yeah.
after that.
the one black exploitation is definitely Shaft for me. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
number one for me. But like
Why?
I said, like when we were younger, like there's of course when you're a child, whatever your parents or your older siblings expose you to, that's what you're gonna see. So I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really get to see a lot of the black exploitation films growing up. I'm actually ending up going back. I see Mark Smith. Mike just said the Black Godfather, Superfly, and any movie with Pam Grier. Now,
Yeah.
Uh,
I will
We
agree
we
to
know
this.
we know we know why you like them Pam Grier films, JT. We know.
I
That's
will.
why. That's why I couldn't watch them for real.
I
I had
love
a
it.
very sheltered existence, but
Yes.
Doc, on the other hand,
Yes.
Doc
Listen,
was wilding.
I mean,
He saw everything.
my way into films was blaxploitation movies. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Like I had a relative. You know, you got that one relative that kind of takes a shine to
He ain't
you.
gonna say no names.
It's well, he's not here anymore, so he ain't got to answer for
You ain't
anything.
gotta worry about it.
Exactly. So my uncle was a bit of a movie buff with me coming up, and that was a relative that kind of grabbed me by the hand and showed me stuff, and he was all about the blaxploitation stuff. So Sweetback and Shaft and Petey Wheatstraw and Dolomite and all that stuff was some of the first stuff I ever
Dolomite.
seen. You know, so and it kind of really influenced a lot of the stuff that I still like today. My view of music, the movies I like, you know what I'm saying? Like it informed a whole lot. So I
Mm,
mean, like I love all of that stuff. I mean the bigger budget stuff and the smaller budget stuff. Foxy Brown and Coffee and even the sillier stuff that Dolomite did.
That's my stuff.
Like it's all
I
great.
love Dolomite
I
It's
saw
stuff.
the
all great.
remake of
And it
Dolomite.
laid way for a lot of us to do things that we wouldn't have been able to do well without it. Like black female leads. There wasn't no black female leads back then. Cleopatra Jones and all the stuff that Pam Grier did. They didn't have no way to get into it without black exploitation stuff.
You right.
I
You
think
And
right.
then,
I think
and then it's like what we always do. Like we know the story of Blade, how it saved Marvel,
yeah.
and how Shafts is
Uh,
what got
uh,
Warner Brothers,
MGM actually.
MGM.
Yeah, MGM.
Shaft is what got MGM started, and like with Sweetie Brown, Sweetbacks. I meant sorry, like that was $50,000, but then it turned into $4 million. And $4 million to,
Mm.
is a lot to me now.
It's
But
still a
like
lot.
that's without inflation. So that's still
Yeah.
like a really good turnaround. They were like, oh, okay. We Black people are marketable.
Low
Mm-hmm.
risk, high
Y'all
reward for
can
them.
make money. Shaft
Mm-hmm.
did gangbusters
And
Yeah.
to
then was actually on the path
got
from
to be
bankruptcy.
bankrupt.
Yeah, well,
Right.
they didn't start them off. They saved them from being nothing.
Oh. Oh, so we
So
So
actually
my
the
only,
black savior for one of the
yeah,
biggest movie
yes.
companies.
it happens all the
Yes.
time. Let's see,
Now they're
MGM,
owned by an online retailer.
Mm.
weird. MGM,
So
what's the other one we just named? Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see, there's like a bunch of like Fox wouldn't even be Fox if it
yes,
wasn't for
facts. In
um
living
In Living
color.
Color.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Tubi wouldn't be Tubi if it wasn't for those black films that was inspired by the black exploitation type of films.
To
Like,
be low key
even
about
though
to
they
be
kind of pushing everybody off now, so
That's
they
what they
pushing the
do.
black people off. Yep, every single time. So
Um.
my
Oh, one.
thing,
Oh.
my thing about the black exploitation and the issue with it is, don't get me wrong, I love those films. I like to make the jokes. I like how they impacted the culture. Like, it's a lot of stuff I love about those films, but there was no counter to those films. And so the reason that the impact was so big, especially on the negative side, was because there was nothing else to see positive of black films. These are the films that was getting greenlit, and they had very negative connotations in some of them, even
Mhm.
though they had a lot of positives too now, like you mentioned
Yeah,
earlier.
I was, yeah. Some of them
But
had some stuff to it, like the one she
yeah,
was talking about with Melvin Van Peebles. That was actually endorsed by the Black Panther Party. Like, as
Mm.
maybe it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, roses and lollipops,
yeah,
but it was accurate.
Yeah, he was a
Mm.
yeah,
prostitute, but he was a prostitute with a heart of gold.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
It's the black pretty woman.
But what you're
Um,
saying, BK, is exactly what I was just going to ask you about what your thoughts or what y'all's thoughts were on not just like we see the impact, we're talking about the impact, but just in that time capsule, what that looked like for black people with only seeing those images and also only having those images broadcast to the universe, because those movies made it beyond just the continental United States too. Like that's the
Mm-hmm.
vision that a lot of
yeah.
people saw of us,
Mm-hmm.
which
But
is dangerous. So you know
I
what
think
happened?
yeah, I think in the black community, um, I think they also understood the double edge of this. They knew that it had to start somewhere. They knew that they had to support it, because if they didn't support it, they wouldn't get another opportunity to at least have some part of their stories told.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think there was still that duality of, we know this is like bottom of the barrel of what we could possibly do.
Mm.
Because if you look at, obviously that was the case, because you look at Sidney Poitier, and he was over here in the white film sector, and he was taking only those roles that was not exactly that. So obviously, I know my people were smart enough to know that they were given, I don't want to say scraps, but they wasn't given the opportunity that they deserved, but
Mm.
it's the opportunity that was given. Which is why
He
now,
did
if you look
support
at us,
those films though too. Like, he
yeah,
even like made a couple of them,
yeah, but like by and large, his whole filmography, what he's known for, is more of the
and
what
he
would
did a
be
night
considered the upper
'60s movie.
class.
Sorry, but
Heat of
real
the Night.
talk,
It sure is, right, right.
he
Um,
did a nice another '60s movie.
Personally, I'm not like a huge fan of Sydney, but that's another conversation. My mom, if she's listening, she probably gonna fuss at me again. We've had this conversation when I was younger, uh, but I think that we understood it, and until like what Spike Lee came along, maybe
Yes.
we didn't really get
And
like,
Boys in the Hood,
oh,
John Singleton. Yeah,
John
the
Singleton.
combo was like a
Yeah, we didn't. I feel like they kind of authentified the films a little bit more, or at least gave it a more of a nuanced voice, I would say.
But even then, like some of those films still weren't the most positive films.
No, no, absolutely not. But the messaging was there.
Yeah. Message.
Yeah, and we caught those messages, and I think they didn't realize that the messages was so strong,
Mm.
especially when you watch like a School Days. You know?
Mm-hmm. 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 That's something we're gonna have to talk about for the 80s and the 90s, though.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
still
they
think Spike
definitely
is a
did some
very
new
flawed
aspects of it.
director, though, when it comes down to messaging. But I think, like I said, like go back to
What?
the spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. You kind of need a lot of that bad to get stuff made, but you can still put in a lot of good in the movie, and the people that need to see it and understand it will see it and understand it. And the black exploitation had a lot of that too. It just wasn't the loudest part of the film, or what's remembered, I will say.
Well, it also goes into the role of the artist, like what Nina Simone was talking about, as far as you're an artist and you create,
Mm.
and you owe it to yourself to um, not castrate your creativity. So you tell the stories that you want to tell, but you also have a responsibility for how that's received sometimes. And
Mm.
there has to be some sort of balance sometimes. Some people would rather count the coins, and some people would rather um, own that responsibility. So it's a balance. And it's just like what you said, there was just a whole lot of one thing, and that's why the NAACP was like, nah, we gotta shut this down, son. And I had no idea until we were gonna have this conversation that that's what happened. That was the cause of the death of black
I didn't know
exploitation.
that. There's a documentary on
They're the
Netflix.
ones that named it that. The NAACP is that's the one that coined that name.
Really?
A
Did.
guy from the Beverly Hills. He was president of the Beverly Hills NAACP or NAACP. Was the one that coined that phrase like the year after they first started coming out in '71. So they died in like '76. It was like 200 films,
Jeez.
jewels.
I still
But
think there's a place for them though. I don't want y'all to think that I think like they're just all negative. Because one of my favorite
Us.
films is Black Dynamite, and that is
Same.
pretty much
Dynamite.
black
Same.
exploitation. So
But to your point, that movie takes all the cues from those movies, and look what that movie is kind of showing you.
It's in my top
Hmm.
20.
I mean, it's a comedy and it's
It
funny and
is
all, but
comedy and it's
it's
entertaining.
pimps, it's you know what I'm saying,
Camp
ninjas,
Kangaroo
and
Pimp.
it's everything
A
all them
kung
supposed to
fu
start
pimp.
prostitutes and all that stuff. So I mean, it's what they were is completely out there. But for everything that is, they still served a very good purpose of getting those artists an opportunity to actually get out there and show themselves.
It's that
Yeah, because
conversation Bill Cosby had all the time when he was dogging out the new crop of television shows that came out after the Cosby Show, because it wasn't the Cosby Show. And he was like, you guys are making us look bad and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, dog, pops. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do my thug thizzle my
yeah,
way. And it's
but
kind of just that whole thing is like, it's got to be a balance to me.
I think it's
Right.
unfair to look at us, especially at that time, now of having to uphold some sort of standard though, when the white counterparts wasn't holding up that same standard,
Of course
you
not.
know? And and it's always been like the unfair thing is like every time we do something on our end, we have to like police ourselves or we have to do the respectability thing.
Yep.
When yes, I do believe like all of hip hop shouldn't be about drugs, sex, and money.
But
I
it's
do
not.
believe that. It's not, but that's the
That's what's
pushing.
pushed. That's what's
But
pushed.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe it all should be that, but it's not. But I also think there's room for the Arrested Developments, the Tribe Called Quest, the et cetera, et cetera. So
Yep.
I feel the same way about film and TV too. Like there's room for both, but for some reason, if you're not fitting in those boxes of the stereotypical what everybody wants, the majority of people that watch TV wants and understands is like either they don't understand the blackness that's there or they don't want to understand the blackness. They can't come down, they can't get on our level and say, okay, I understand why Urkel is a nerd, or, I'm just saying, like, it's just, I don't know. It's a longer conversation that should be had, though. I don't know if we have the time for it today. We're like 16 minutes over.
Yeah, we a little over.
My bad, player. I
No. You
appreciate
good?
y'all letting us have that conversation though, because I
No.
think it's important.
We had
It's
to.
our
No.
history.
That was a good
It
conversation
is
to have.
it is our history, and like you said, it was the catalyst to push black entertainment forward.
Hmm. We're
I mean,
marketable.
now without
Hmm.
any of that, half the people that we know and love now, there will be no Spike Lee, there will be no John Singleton, there will be no
Quentin
Issa Rae,
Tarantino.
Quentin.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino. That's why he made Foxy Brown.
And
Like,
he white.
yeah.
yeah, but
Oh,
his
But he was
vein and
inspired by
source
those films.
but he
of
was
like
inspired by those films. Okay.
very deeply, even to this day,
He's
Yeah, you
even
could
talked
tell.
about it. He's
You
even
could tell.
he's even talked about it in pretty deep detail
all the
about
time.
how hard
Hmm.
they influenced him. Like his early stuff looks like
It looks
'70s.
like it
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. You could tell for
And
sure.
that's obviously why he likes to say the N word so much.
Yeah, I was about to say his use of the N word is pretty deep in it
I
too.
didn't
He
want to
want to
bring it
be
up,
it
but
so
since
bad.
y'all brought it up, he does.
He
It is a
does.
lot
You
of
know,
N words in there.
they pilfered a lot from those movies. I mentioned James Bond earlier. There was a James Bond movie that came out in the '70s called Live and Let Die that had a blaxploitation esque Bond girl in it. And it was all because that, you know what I'm saying, that actress got that shot because of those movies. So I mean, it's purpose, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking at it now, we can see where it goes. But in the moment, I think it was definitely like some dissent going on. I think the same argument we're still having now about certain things they were having then. But
Yeah.
I think the only difference is they understood that like this had to happen. Like if those things never happened, if Mario Van Peebles never was like the pioneer there, if Sidney
With his
Poitier
fine
was never
ass.
there, we definitely wouldn't have gotten Black Panther. So I'm just saying. And hell, like the Black Panther comic books, there's owes kind of owes a little bit to the black exploitation too. So
A
it's
lot of those black characters do.
yeah. So
Luke Cage was pulled from the '70s.
Luke Cage,
He was very much kind of an age of that character.
Green
And
Lantern,
John Singleton after tried to make a Black Panther movie.
I didn't
really
know that.
Try to use it with Wesley Snipes.
learning a lot today. Learning a lot today.
This
And
is
then
why we
Tyrese when it
bring the
got down on the road.
experts.
That's why we
So what?
bring the experts.
This is why we
Exactly.
bring in the experts.
Exactly.
Y'all cute.
Yeah, man, this was a
Is
great
that y'all cute?
conversation.
Y'all cute.
Hey, we have to end it. I don't want to end the conversation. It's really good. It's really good. We got